What's up, everybody? Jordan Stewart here from Vover. Thanks so much for tapping into the Vover original show. Just a reminder that if you want to drop your opinions about the episode or respond to the host and guests with your voice, go and download the Vover app wherever you get your apps. Vover, voice over everything. Enjoyed the show.
Vover MMA, what's good? This is your boy Devin Bradshaw, and I got a bone to pick. Yeah, I'm still on 264, and there's a lot been going around, and I just think, as you know, UFC fans and fight fans in general are so quick to anoint, so quick to, we jump the gun a lot, and we start, labeling people the GOAT really, really early, or we start giving praise really, really early. And I've seen it going around. I've seen a lot of people saying, yeah, Dustin Poirier is the number 2 lightweight all time, right behind Khabib. And I'm just one man, and there's a lot of people saying that. And I'm not saying they're wrong, but I'm coming in with strong disagreements. And the UFC's been around for 20 plus years, and there have been incredible lightweights. And I understand the time period that we're in. I understand what Dustin Poirier's done. Dustin Poirier's run recently, since he's moved up, has been incredible. But he ain't the number 2 lightweight of all time. Now, he might be on that trajectory, and he might be on his way. But right now, he ain't number 2. It's just been so many great champions in the division. So how could you put him number 2? How could you put someone who he was an interim champion, sure, but that ain't the undefeated, that ain't the undisputed lightweight championship. That's not that. It's just interim. So right now, we'll classify that as not having the belt. He's never won the UFC lightweight gold. Now, he will have a shot. And if he wins it, and if he defends it a few times, this conversation could change. I'm open to that. But right now, he ain't number 2. I'll give you the top 5, and I'll give it to you right now. Well, let's start with some honorable mentions in the division. So we can start off with Dustin Poirier. He's an honorable mention. He's been great. He's been fantastic. I think his record, I think he only has 2 losses since he's moved up, being to Khabib and being to Michael Johnson at the beginning of his lightweight run. I think that's it. So in the division, he's 12-2. That's been an incredible run. But I just can't. He doesn't crack the top 5 over the guys that I will name later. Another honorable mention, Nate Diaz. Same situation. Nate has had incredible wins over top-tier lightweights. He's taken time off, he's come back, and he's always been the same. Another one, and probably the guy who was probably the best lightweight to never win a title. And we don't look at him that way, but when you look at his career all the way in whole, Donald Cerrone. Donald Cerrone has had an incredible career throughout his entire time. He's fought for the championship 4 times, but he was never able to get over the hump when it came to championships. Whether that had been losing to Ben Henderson. I think in his last title fight, he lost to Rafael dos Anjos. So Donald he was never able to get over the hump, but I say he's the best lightweight to never win a title. And so now, moving into actual champions who don't crack the top 5, but who are incredible champions, Jens Pulver. And that's a name that many fight fans don't know. But he, as an incredible wrestler, developed power in his hands and is kind of the godfather of sprawl and brawl, which he developed a style of using his wrestling offense as wrestling defense, his pedigree as has defense, and just the power in his hands were absolutely phenomenal. And then going on to guys like Rafael dos Anjos, who holds wins over Cerrone, who holds wins over Anthony Pettis, former champion, Nate Diaz, Ben Henderson. Dos Anjos did it all, and he won the UFC lightweight title over Pettis, who at the time was one of was the best lightweight in the world. He won titles over every promotion that he has been in. So Dos Anjos goes in as a nice honorable mention. And then you have Anthony Showtime Pettis, who started his career. He started his entire fight career at lightweight, 18-2, and he submitted Benson Henderson to win the lightweight championship. He beat Benson Henderson in the WEC to win the WEC lightweight championship. And then that division is kind of hard, to be 18-2. And Showtime at a point was one of the top prospects in the world. And he proved that, and he did what he had to do, and he won the title, and he defended the title. So, yeah, Showtime goes on this list, and obviously he's in the top 10. Another guy who doesn't get as much credit as he deserves is Eddie Alvarez. And Eddie Alvarez fought everybody. He won titles in multiple promotions, whether that been Bellator, and then he came to the UFC and won the lightweight title there. And he has beaten top lightweights in the world, like Michael Chandler, like Patrick Pitbull, like Shinya Aoki, Gilbert Melendez, Pettis, Rafael dos Anjos, to win the title. And then, lost to Conor McGregor kind of stains him. But he has wins over Justin Gaethje as well. Like, Eddie Alvarez, at a point, is one of the top lightweights in the world. And he actually carried the gold. And now going into the top 5 actual UFC lightweights to me. Tony Ferguson, undefeated for an incredible amount of time. And he beat a lot of the top lightweights in the world. And if he ever actually fought for the title at his peak, before the injury started to get him, before just the downfall, the way he fought started to get him, he probably would have been champion. But Tony Ferguson didn't lose a fight from 2013 to 2019, like undefeated for 6 years, with brutal wins over Donald Cerrone, brutal wins over Anthony Pettis, an incredible win over Kevin Lee, Rafael dos Anjos, Edson Barbosa, Gleison Tebow. Like, you can't argue Tony Ferguson's resume for those 6 years, or I would say probably for 4 of those 6 years, he was looked at as the top lightweight in the world. Just injuries didn't break right for him. A lot of pulling out happening in those fights where he was getting to the top. And, his last couple fights have been rough. But during his peak, Tony Ferguson actually is probably the best guy to never actually win the UFC belt. And then number 4, Ben Henderson. Smooth Ben Henderson was champion in WEC. Looked at as one of the most dominant fighters on earth while he was coming up. And then he went to the UFC and he won the UFC belt. Like, Ben Henderson, was incredible before, Pettis. And then, moving into number 3, Frankie Edgar. And there's not much that you can say about that guy besides him being one of the best to ever do it in any weight division, pound per pound. When Frankie was coming up, he was looked at as a small guy. He just had a lot of dog in him. He beat a bunch of top lightweights while fighting at a division that probably was 2 divisions higher than he should have been fighting at. But yeah, he started his career 15-1 as a super undersized guy, and he beat probably one of the most dominant lightweights in the world, BJ Penn, twice. And a lot of people see BJ as the greatest lightweight of all time. And yeah, Frankie was able to do it twice and had an incredible 2-fight series with Gray Maynard, which are looked at as some of the greatest fights of all time. And Frankie's looked at as having some of the greatest heart ever. And then had 2 great fights with Ben Henderson. Like, that dude's done it all. He's beaten almost everybody, and he's looked at as one of the best. When he left the lightweight division, he wasn't lucky enough to get gold running into, one of the greatest featherweight champions in the world, Jose Aldo. But yeah, Frankie has beaten all these guys. And then number 2, BJ Penn. And now if you look at BJ Penn, if you just were to look at him and be like, who is BJ Penn, and look at his record, you wouldn't be impressed. I think he's it's kind of average, or it is average, 16-14. But the thing with BJ Penn is his run at lightweight when he won the belt. After losing to Jens Pover, when he came back, he won the belt. He was incredible, But the thing with BJ Penn is he would fight anybody, and he was almost impossible to knock out. And he just had a style where people gravitated towards him, and he's fought the best of the best, and that's probably the reason why, he's not at number 1, just because he didn't stick at lightweight a lot and didn't and just tried to achieve a lot of things greater. Like, he went up and, if you know Lyoto Machida, BJ Penn fought Lyoto Machida. And what's the craziest part about that is Lyoto Machida was at one time the light heavyweight champion of the world. And BJ went up and beat him. BJ went up and fought him. He didn't beat him. He lost decision unanimous. But he went up and fought him, which is a crazy thing to do. And would never happen in today's age with an incredible weight difference like that. But he's fought guys like George St. Pierre, Matt Hughes, Frankie Edgar, Nick Diaz, Diego Sanchez, Kenny Florian, Sean Shirk. Ended up getting the win back against Jens Pover. Like, BJ has done it all. And if you want to appreciate lightweight greatness, just go look at his catalog. And I know lately the BJ that fight fans have heard about lately is almost a disgrace. And it's sad to see for me as someone who saw the peak of BJ and saw him at the height of his powers, to see go out like this. But yeah, that's what it is. And number 1, obviously, is Khabib Nurmagomedov. Undefeated, undisputed lightweight champion is all he wanted. Getting to 29-0, beating the who's who, dominating the who's who of legendary fighters. Yeah, Khabib was special, and you could see that early from Khabib. And yeah, he deserves the number 1 spot. So I'm not taking anything away from Dustin Poirier, but just at this point right now, there's a lot more to be done for him to get into the top 5 of the lightweight division all time, let alone number 2. So, I almost forgot to mention this weekend UFC Fight Night main event, Khabib's protege, Islam Makhachev, is fighting Thiago Moises, and that should be an incredible fight and an opportunity to see probably the best prospect coming up in the UFC. So make sure you guys tune into that, watch Islam, and we'll see how it goes. I'm excited to see it. So this has been your boy Devin. I'll catch you guys next week on Vover MMA.
Vover!